you never wear tennis shoes around horses? Let's talk about that. What's up guys? I'm Lizzie, and one of my shorts and my TikToks where I intentionally bother people with things that you're not supposed to do while being around horses. One of those things is I wear flip-flops around the horses, and that really triggers a lot of people, and I knew it would. That's why I put it in that video. The reason it triggers people is because people immediately think that if you go barefoot around a horse or wear tennis shoes around a horse, the horse is going to immediately want to step on your feet. So why is that? I wouldn't call myself like a reckless horse person. I'm definitely not one of those kind of cowboys that's going to go and tackle a horse to try to break it. I'm actually a very cautious, careful horse person. I don't like danger or drama or stress, and I really don't like pain. So however I can be around horses safely without risk of injury or any of those kind of things, I will try to practice those things. A lot of you might think that, well, wearing tennis shoes and flip-flops around horses is not a very cautious, careful thing, but that's not cautious or careful. That's just what I can do after I've trained my horses to be cautious and careful like me. And one of the first things that I like to train my horses when I first start training my horses is personal space. I love personal space. I'm an introvert. I know everything about personal space and my personal bubble. I like my personal bubble. I like my space. But how does one train a horse to respect personal space and know my bubble? Well, it's actually pretty simple, and it doesn't take that long to train a horse personal space. And it also goes both ways. I want personal space, I'll give them personal space. I'm not going to disrespect their bubble. They're not going to disrespect my bubble. I like my bubble, they like their bubble. We're even here, you know? Anyways, let's get on to the main point. How does one teach personal space? Well, I like to think of myself as the electric fence. The electric fence, you say? Yes, the electric fence. A horse doesn't just walk through the electric fence. If they do, they get shocked. Same with what happens if they walk through me. I'm not going to chase my horse or cause a fight or anything if they try to walk through me or be like the big tough guy or whatever. I'm standing here. If you walk through me, you get shot. That's how simple it is. Now I really don't mind horses coming to my personal space. I actually love horses coming in for snuggles and those kind of things and scratches and whatever. My horse is can be kind of bargy sometimes, and it's because I let her get away with it, because she's not just a horse to me. But I know she's not going to do anything dangerous to me. She's not going to kick me. She's not going to run me over. She's not going to bite me or anything. So we have those things figured out. We're best friends, so I'm not worried about her doing anything dangerous to me. So I let her into my personal bubble. She respects my personal bubble. I don't mind horses coming in for scratches. I don't mind them coming in for investigation, but don't be swinging your head around and hitting me. Don't be walking through me. Don't be stepping on my feet. So many people have told me, you're gonna get your foot broken if you walk around horses without boots on. Well, you know what? It's dangerous regardless of what you're wearing on your feet if your horse is walking on your feet, okay? So it's not just your horse is gonna immediately walk on your feet because it sees you wearing shoes. No, they're gonna do it regardless of what you're wearing. So just teach them personal space. I love personal space. We've already went through this. Now we want to teach personal space before we get our foot stepped on, before we get our head knocked off our shoulders from their swinging their head around. And so we want to catch these issues before they happen. But if your horse does step on your foot, your best reaction is to, for one, have a big reaction to kind of startle them, maybe scream or yell or whatever, and then you go after their head. You push their head away. The horse's head controls their feet, so going after their head is going to move their feet. So in a situation of a horse stepping on your foot, smacking their shoulder or flailing or pushing them away, that's not going to have as good of an effect as going after their head. And I recommend that if you're going to be around a new horse, or if you're going to start teaching your bargy horse personal space, keep a whip with you, either a crop, a carrot stick, a regular whip, even a lead rope, whatever, maybe a stick with a flag on the end of it, something that will startle your horse and you can get after them with their head, because it's just an extension of your arm so that you can reach their head if you need to. So say that I'm scratching Stella and she steps into my personal space. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go at her eye so that she can see it if she steps away. Obviously, if she was barging and being rude, I would be way more aggressive with my swing and maybe even smack her on the cheek or something. when you're in a pasture with a bunch of horses that have differences and they'll probably bicker and stuff, you don't want to feel like you're going to be trampled over any second if you're around them. If one of the sassy mares has a kickoff with another horse, you don't want to be ducking and running for your life because they might run you over. You want to be sure and know confidently that all of the horses respect your space and know your bubble and will not go into your bubble, okay? You're the electric fence. They'll choose to run another horse over than to run you over because we've established these things, not by dominance or abuse or anything, just that we're the electric fence. You come into us, you get shocked. Getting your foot stepped on is really not fun. And I won't say I never have my foot stepped on by my horses. I actually just had Stella step on my foot briefly like 2 weeks ago or something. And it's because I let her out to get grass and I went to put the halter on her, and she's insane about grass. She wasn't listening very well and stepped onto my foot when I was trying to put the halter on her, and I had a big reaction. I sent her off, and then when I went to put the halter on her again, I made sure she stopped eating, picked her head up, stood still, let me put the halter on her. So yeah, she also barely stepped on my foot. It was a very brief thing. My foot was fine. I've never broken a bone in my foot, but I pretty much never get my foot stepped on. Very, very rarely, maybe even once a year, I want to say. I used to have a blind horse and she would step on my feet quite regularly because she couldn't see, but that was more forgiving and also never really hurt my foot. So we're all good there. And it doesn't matter what kind of horse you have, if they're doing it intentionally and if they're accidentally doing it. I think that horses know exactly where they put their feet. If you've ever had a horse that hates touching mud with their feet and you walk them down a trail that has puddles on each side, you know they're very good at minding their feet. So whenever they step on your feet, it may not be intentional, but they're also just not being careful. So it can be something you teach your horse not to do. Even if they're not intentionally doing it and just not being careful, that's still bad behavior. If they're intentionally doing it and trying to run you over or just not giving two sheeps about you, then that is also a reason to. I'm not a huge advocate for whipping your horse into discipline, but when it comes to your safety, it's very important that the horses know and understand that you take your personal space and your bubble very seriously. And when you're dealing with a 1,000-pound horse with massive feet and could break your foot at any second, you want those rules established. And to those people who think I'm going to get a broken foot as soon as I walk around my horse barefoot, sorry to break it to you, it's not going to happen. I hope that you're able to fix your issues with your horse and be more safe. I don't want you to break your foot either, so let's all just be a little bit more cautious. And horses are very smart, very trainable. These habits that they have, they're just, I mean, it's not just a horse thing that they step on your feet or whatever. It's very, 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 very trainable that they do not step on your feet, and I highly recommend that you do these practices with your horse. Just remember, their head controls their feet, so immediately, big reaction, go after their head. You have to send them off away from you, make them stand a few feet away from you for a while until they can think about what they did. Don't put yourself in dangerous situations. If you don't know the horse, make sure you carry a whip around with you or some sort of tool, extension of your arm. You're the electric fence. Nothing can run through you. You're the brick wall. Having a horse respect your personal space goes both ways, and it's not quite fair of you to expect the horse to respect your personal space if you're not going to respect their personal space. So if they're telling you, don't come close to me, then give them that space. It'll settle in time. There's bugs everywhere. I'm so sorry. It's just so annoying. Again, it's fine for horses to come into your space as long as they respect it and they're just looking for scratches or some attention. It's also fine to go into their space as long as they're allowing you and not giving you signals that they don't want you near them. It's all a mutual respect kind of thing. We're setting boundaries for ourselves that we should also follow for them. Anyways, I hope you guys found this video helpful. If you did, give it a big like and subscribe. I post new videos every single Sunday and you don't want to miss it. You can also follow me on Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter. And I post shorts every single day on YouTube. So there's that too. And I'll see you guys next week. Bye!